Yo, Saf back once again. Talk and Play Blurredcast. Y'all know what the fuck going on. If you read the title for this episode, this is the Insecure Season 5, Episode 1 review. Season 5, you know, they got creative with the title or whatever. This is Season 5, but it is also the last season of the show. Sad about that. But we're going out on a high note for season 5. They saying bye to us, chucking the deuces at these characters. Maybe we'll see them again in the future. Who knows? But until, you know what I'm saying, we get to the season or the series finale. Yeah, it'll be series finale once we get to the last episode. Till we get there, we're just going to ride this shit out. I told y'all, you know what? I'm going to play my theme music real quick, and then we'll go ahead and jump into everything. So what I was getting ready to say, I told y'all that I was going to do a episode by episode review, you know what I'm saying, shortly after the episode premiered or whatever. Still plan on doing that, you know what I'm saying. That's what I plan on doing. But if it does not work out that way, please don't hate me. You know what I'm saying. I'm definitely gonna review, you know, as much as time will allow for me. And if anything, season review definitely happening, because like I said in the little intro, whatever, this is season 5, bro. They not coming back after this. They done. You know what I'm saying? Issa is moving on to other projects as well as the rest of the cast. Like, y'all know what the fuck going on. If y'all follow any of them on social media, y'all know they busy. So, I don't know, but I'm going to try to do every episode because I want to. So, I'm going to try to do that. And I don't know, I'm excited, man. Like, this episode was pretty good. Like, I was, you know, obviously she hit us with a bomb at the end. Sorry to the Lawrence side. You know what? Let's run the episode back, right? So, before we do that, like I said, you know, on a previous Talk and Play Blurredcast episode, the whole, you know, running the entire show back, you know, damn near line for line, not going to be doing that, right? Because y'all seen it, or y'all should have saw it. That's what y'all here for. Y'all want to know how I felt about it. Maybe, you know, have some dialogue about if you felt the same way I felt or whatever. So, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to review the episode, not necessarily recap it and run it all the way back. But obviously, I mean, y'all know how this shit go. Y'all done heard other review podcasts before. Let's jump into it because I'm excited. Let's go. We open the show with some dope scenery. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I really, really have enjoyed about Insecure, like throughout all of the seasons. Their like cinematography, like the way that they are shooting these scenes and these, you know, getting these frames lit and all other shit, like I really like the cinematography behind the whole Insecure series. I guess I should do my due diligence and just look up who is responsible for all that outside of Issa Rae. But yeah, just wanted to mention that. We open up with some dope scenery. There was a song playing, right? Master P is the name of the song, and the artist is named Choker. Dope vibe. I don't know. I fuck with that song. It was I looked it up. It's worthy of playlisting, so it's on there. But in the opening scene, we see like Kelly, Derek, and Tiffany. They talking about, you know, Molly's transformation and shit. She going through her her phase after breaking up with Andrew in last season. You know, she being all Picasso-y. That's what Kelly was saying. Yeah, with her Instagram posting all kind of inspirational quotes and shit. I'm here for that kind of shit. You know, whatever you need to do to heal, do that. If that's turning into a self-love, independent, you know, social media guru or whatever, do your thing. Like, I fuck with all of that shit. Kelly, obviously, the LOL here, she's funny as fuck. Key information here that came by way of Tiffany. Apparently, it's been 2 months since the, you know, incidences that happened in the season 4 finale. So we not that far away from like what happened. You know what I'm saying? If you remember, just real quick, Lawrence and Condola expecting, and Andrew and Molly had the big falling out or breakup. And Issa and Molly was not seeing eye to eye still, but they was trying to rekindle all of that when Molly asked her to come to the diner at the end and I guess talk things out. But yeah, so it's been 2 months since all of that stuff happened, just for like timeline purposes. So when we get into these episodes and we're like living in a world that's not experiencing COVID or nothing like that, I don't know. Maybe they'll jump into it later on in the season, but for now, this is why. This is literally just 2 months, after everything that happened in season 4 finale, and I don't know. I'm happy about that because COVID been getting on my goddamn nerves. All this vaccine talk and all this other shit, like these people condemning people who want to exercise their, free right to have personal choice to do what the fuck they want to do with their bodies. All this shit getting on my nerves. So I'm glad that we are seeing a series that is not going to be, oh yeah, put your face mask on, all this other shit. Unless they jump into that towards the end of the episode, or of the season. But I doubt it. If this whole season, which is probably going to be 8 episodes, I believe, 8 to 10, somewhere in there, of these characters growing or whatever, I don't expect for us to jump into the COVID scenario. But if it does, I guess, you got to be real. That's what's happening. That little scene that they threw in the middle of Tiffany's monologue about how they're not going to talk about any of the drama between Issa and Molly and all the shit going on outside of Issa and Molly. That shit was funny. Issa got into the wrong car, and I guess she was asking the driver, do y'all know each other? Can you help me find this nigga? Y'all don't talk in the morning or nothing like that. And which was funny because she a Lyft driver. She know damn well these people don't know each other personally. It's not co-workers like that. They all are contracted people. They don't never have to come in contact with each other if they don't want to. But that shit was funny because she was walking back, saying on the line of cars looking for her driver. She could go somebody in line because I guess nobody was trying to pick her up. I don't know. Funny. That's one thing. This is a comedy. I be forgetting that shit sometimes, just sitting here, watching and taking in these people's stories and all this other shit like that. This is technically a comedy, so laughing is okay and it's gonna happen because Issa funny as fuck. Kelly, all of them, they hilarious. I really like the comedy aspect of the comedy. That sounds crazy, but I'm saying that because the stories be so compelling. It's easy to get this shit confused with a drama. So I guess a dramedy would be accurate, I guess. But we pull up to Stanford, which I don't know. I guess either I didn't remember or I had forgot. That's the same thing. Remember and forgot. I didn't remember that they had said that they was from Stanford. They all met at Stanford. But that's dope because anything about Stanford, top tier school in the country. I think the acceptance rate right now is 4%. And that's period. They don't got nothing to do with COVID. They let a small group of people into that school every year, which, I mean, I don't know how they do it, but I don't know, because you would expect, colleges, they want a lot of people to attend so they can get their funding and all that other shit. Stanford said, fuck that, we about the education. I'm here for it. They all meet up. Apparently it's the 10-year reunion. So they linking up at their alma mater, you know what I'm saying? And they doing the whole 10-year reunion thing. The whole exchange between the group was funny as fuck. Issa and Kelly just, I don't know, this whole episode, they was on it with the jokes, which is normal because they like the funny ones of the whole series to me. Everybody else be having cool little funny moments or whatever, but them two motherfuckers in particular, They always got me laughing. So they they had a cool exchange. Issa can't remember the acronym for her own business, what block means. And shit, now she can't remember, so now I can't remember. It's Black Lives, Black Lives, because I can look this up real quick. Hold on. There we go. Should have wrote it down. I ain't think I was going to forget. But Black Life, Opportunities, Culture, and Connection. Issa couldn't remember it, and she just fucked me up too, so I couldn't remember either. But it's dope, you know what I'm saying? This is obviously referring to the business that she started, you know, up in like season 4, where she had the block party and shit. Like, she was really doing some dope shit with, you know, this whole block thing. Now we got a name for it officially. Stanford flew her out to be on this panel or whatever, or she got flued out. They flew her out to be on the Stanford panel to talk about this shit. I don't know, it's dope. I really appreciated that part of the of the episode, mainly because of the dialogues. Kelly is funny, talking about, because when Issa was looking at us, she's like, oh yeah, what she said, something about building the suspense. I don't know, these motherfuckers are funny, but it was dope seeing them like at this, you know, prestigious school, accomplished in their own rights. I know Issa, you know, later on in the episode, she have like a little bout with imposter syndrome or whatever, but I don't know, it's dope. You know, Stanford, it's a white school, so seeing these black people, you know, there, you know, repping what they, you know, with their paraphernalia on, just being black and accomplished, was dope to me. Also in this scene, that kind of opened it up, really, the cinematography there of was it Stanford, like the town, and then the college. Like, they had some beautiful shots in there. I have a degree in that, all that kind of shit. Sound, music, technology, audio, visual. Like, that is what I went to school and graduated for. So, like, when this shit pops up on the screen, I immediately fuck with it. The audio is good, the music is good. Like, all these extra elements around a production, you know, in a series and movies and shit like that. Like, I pay extra attention to that stuff. If it's good, bonus points for me. Insecure ain't never been lacking, and it's only been getting better, honestly. So I'm excited to see that, really, with season 5 as well. The different shots that they get of the locations that they chose to film in. So dope to me. What wasn't dope, they killed Kelly. I wasn't expecting that to be a part of the plot line. They killed Kelly. They had or what's the obituary? What's the thing called? They had people send in kind words. Issa contributed as well. I don't know. I thought it was like, damn, that's kind of fucked up. Your own school just pegged you as dead. Meanwhile, here you are at the fucking 10-year reunion. But I don't know. Kelly took it. She took it all right in that particular moment. I guess she said she wanted to assume some different identities anyway. So it might have been kind of cool to just float around the school as the ghost. I don't know. But yeah, I was a little like, oh shit. But like I said, she took it good. I appreciate it though, after this, that Molly, when she was like talking to the group, she mentioned like some tips and techniques her therapist like recommended for her. Glad for that, because as you know, I don't know, when did Molly start therapy? I know she wasn't in it from like season 1. Maybe she was. I can't even really remember right now, but she is still in therapy, and that's good, because, you know, as we've grown with these characters, we see like Molly got a lot of shit that she need to work out. So I'm glad that she's still sitting down with her therapist talking about that and actually taking this shit into stride. I don't know, I guess the situation with Andrew and Issa's was like compelling her to stick to these things that her therapists are asking of her. But either way, it's dope. Also funny. Issa and her fucking fake ass haze, bro. That shit was funny, bro, because I caught it immediately. But then when the cast, when Tiffany and Molly called it out, I was like, yeah, this shit funny. Molly and Kelly had a also hilarious but slightly informative conversation. Kelly explained to Molly, because Molly is like, damn, how long did it take you and Tiff to get like back? Which, if you black, you know what the fuck back mean. Like, how long it took y'all to get back good, like really good, like for real. And Kelly was being funny as usual. She said something about knowing what she needs and also knowing that she got both of her toes because I never seen them, but I never looked either. Like, I don't know. Kelly is funny. I don't know what's gonna happen with Kelly after season 5 wraps, but this character needs to continue. That's just me. But Molly didn't get anything help from that, really. But we did see them like later on down the line after the groups run-in with Byeve, whoever that was, trying to steal Derek from Tiffany way back in the day. We see, Kelly was not lying. She'd be laughing at Tiffany bad jokes or whatever, doing what she need to do to be there for her friend, make sure that they stay on good terms. So, not a completely useless conversation between Kelly and Molly, but definitely Kelly is a fool. Apparently, Derek carved him and Tiffany's name into a tree. More on that later. Issa actually caught herself with the fake hay. That shit was hilarious. Because goddamn, like, you can't hear it, but then she heard it. That's funny. That's another part of this like show, right? I miss this show and the characters and their stories so much that I be forgetting like this shit is a comedy at the end of the day. Like, you're supposed to be laughing at this shit or whatever. So when like they do play up the comedy aspect, it's like extra funny to me because they be catching me off guard. Like, damn, we're in the middle of a riveting story. Okay, here goes something funny. Just make it that much more funny, if that makes sense. What didn't make sense, but I was like turned for it. Like, all right, cool. They had this little Stanford mixer. Shit was lit. They had people bopping the Too Short, and whoever old girl was on stage with the flute, she was swagging it out. Like, I was like, wait, this is Stanford? Is this like the black mixer? Like, what's going on? But I don't know. We end up going inside. Shit is lit. You know what I'm saying? We meet Cheyenne, and we're introduced to Cheyenne, Tiffany. No, not Tiffany, because Tiffany wasn't seeing it for Cheyenne. She wasn't fucking with that girl. It was Molly, Issa, and Cheyenne's like rap group or whatever. I think let's call it Trap Habit or whatever. I don't know. Shit was funny. And then see, this is what I mean about funny little one-liners or whatever from the other group that reminds you like it's all a comedy. Issa is very funny, Kelly is very funny, but the rest of the group, they don't be lacking with the jokes either, because Issa and Molly was like talking about the name of the group, and Tiffany goes, because they're like, oh, it's Trap Habit, and Tiffany goes, and yeah, I ain't never seen a trap. And Issa like, well, I had a brother and shit, like a cousin or whatever she said. It's funny. I missed this show, man. The comedy. Can you hear the excitement in my voice? I missed it. But we introduced to Cheyenne. She lit as fuck, twerking all in the goddamn Stanford mixer, loud, in your face. Ain't shit changed, bitch. like she lit. And Kelly loves this bitch. But yeah, Tiffany knew something. She knew, and we should have been on Tiffany's side with this. But we was trying to ride out too. So we was on Trap Habit side until y'all know what happened later in the episode. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. Molly and Omari end up flirting. You know what I'm saying? There's they cut away from Trap Habit and their synchronized dance moves to this other scene where Derek is talking to some gentleman. Obviously, they're also Stanford alumni, went to school with all of them or whatever. Molly walk up, or she's in the scene as well talking. They cut out to get him some alone time. Molly and Omari get a little flirting going on. Apparently they used to be old fuck buddies. All here for that. He's newly divorced. Obviously she's newly single. But what was like, a little eye raising for me, like, yeah, this nigga just got a divorce and you just got out of a relationship. Like, y'all niggas ain't really healed up for that. I don't think so anyway. I don't know this gentleman either. Like, we haven't really got much of his story, like why he got divorced and all this other stuff. But we'll see. Next scene, we kind of see Kelly start, being dead, like starting to get to her. She couldn't even like stanky leg good. That made me a little sad. I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Whoever wrote the little thing said you had a 5 stinky leg and you kind of gave slightly musty leg. I don't know. It just wasn't what it was supposed to be. And I could tell just because, she's starting to feel a way about, this school, like saying she died. Like she had the shit too. And she is accomplished in her own right. So I don't know. I would be fucked up behind that too. But like I said, Kelly's a trooper. It's starting to get to her, but she's still taking it in stride. We cut away from that though, and then we go into the bathroom with Issa talking to throwback Issa in the mirror. This whole exchange was funny. Let me see them teeth. Like that shit, that whole shit was fucking funny. I don't know, man. I really love Issa's comedy. When she do this kind of shit, this mirror shit, and she just be like joking with herself, like it's funny. It's very, very self-reflective and introspective because you get to see the duality between, throwback Issa is what she called her, and where we at now Issa. And obviously I could tell Issa, she was doing a little sugarcoating when throwback Issa was asking her the questions that need to be asked. She was not necessarily being real and direct with herself, but she's still being honest enough to like tell that girl, like, that nigga cheating on you, or whoever her boyfriend was at the time of throwback Issa days. The T-Pain attraction, I was like, where did this come from? That's the left field, but I'm also a dark-skinned nigga with dreads, so I guess my chances are there as well, even though I'm not rich and famous like T-Pain. I don't know. The Instagram thing was funny, like, because that's some shit I definitely would do. If I ever met myself from the past, I would definitely tell that little nigga, like, hey, you need to invent this. It's not hard. I know it don't sound like, something that's of this, today, but it's going to be something of my day. So just figure that shit out and invent it because rich, nigga, like, I definitely would. But the whole exchange was funny. Issa almost falling in the bathroom trying to show throwback Issa these abs. Like, that shit was fun. Comedy. I'm gonna quit saying that shit was funny. No, I'm not. It was funny. What wasn't funny though was that panel scene. That shit, I don't know, was kind of cringe. It was kind of cringe. It has some funny moments. Kelly talking about this nigga get it because he was like quoting Biggie lyrics and shit. Like, I don't know. But then see, that was also dope because even though Issa was stumbling, she tried to quote some Tupac lyrics and it then ain't quite go over with the crowd like she was hoping it would, which is interesting because they on the West Coast, not we. They on the West Coast in California quoting Biggie line for line, but then when the Tupac get mentioned, I guess it's because the song she picked. That's not necessarily like his most popular song. The nigga on stage, the moderator, he got it, but I was just like, damn, that's kind of funny or whatever. But Issa is crashing and burning in this scene. You can really start to see like a real moment from Issa. Some self-doubt there, some imposter syndrome happening, like that whole scene, just for me personally, because I'm in an entrepreneurial space myself, so I kind of I get everything that she was like saying or whatever. And I really think she had the best shit. All them other motherfuckers up there saying all that generic ass shit about, when people start sliding in my DMs asking me questions, that's how I knew I was da-da-da. Like, bruh, Issa came with the real. And I was fucking with that even though it didn't quite go over that well. After that scene though, they all like kind of grouped up and they decided to break off into their separate shit. I think Tiffany went to like a AKA function. Molly decided she wanted to chill because she being a good friend now. She taking Kelly's advice, be there for her, know what she needs in the moment. That's what she said in the conversation earlier. Molly picked up like, yeah, she knows she's a little, thrown off by how that panel discussion went. So she decides she gonna hang back with her and they're gonna talk, walk, get drinks, chill, while Kelly goes to her band thing and tries to see what memorial they put on for her passing away. But we end up following Issa and Molly, where Molly complimented her on everything she was saying. I was fucking with that because I agree, like, you was saying some real shit. Like, what everybody else was saying, that shit was cool. But like I said, generic. Issa was really up there giving the real. You know what I'm saying? We also got to learn, pretty much the origin story of how Molly and Issa came together, I guess. I guess Molly cussed somebody out. Issa was like, yeah, I want to be her friend. Because she cusses really good. Eloquently is the word that Issa used. But all this rambling just led to Issa kind of shedding her issues with life and not being in control and shit like that. And that whole ending, you eat today? And she's like, no. That shit was funny. Because, I don't know, something about black people, things get more hype when we haven't eaten. But after we eat, we can like calm down. We can calm down and like digest things on a real level instead of being turned about it. But that shit was funny because that response had a little bit more exclamation points than I was expecting. Molly just asked if you ate today, and Issa literally yelled no. But the lunch was well needed. Apparently it started off a little awkward or whatever, but Molly broke down and she asked her like, damn, we good? Like, I just want shit to be cool between us. And I really personally like that Molly is trying. Like, she really wants to fix things with Issa. I feel like that's dope. And she's taking the steps instead of being like she was last season and the season before, season 3, where it was like, oh no, if she want to fix things with me, she need to come talk to me because I already apologized, X, Y, and Z. Like, nah, she really putting in the effort to try to fix whatever, whatever discrepancies that are left between Issa and Molly. Molly's doing what she needs to do in order to like smooth things over and get back right. And I appreciate that because it's a different Molly than what we used to. Hopefully she stays like that. I did notice though that Issa was not necessarily like, yeah, girl, we cool. You know what I'm saying? She was just kind of like receiving, but not necessarily acknowledging and confirming things, which I don't know. That was a little for me because I was like, damn, you could see the girl trying like, what's up? But I get it. I do, because they have a long story friendship and this is probably the worst they've been, so I get it. But they end up getting invited to some reggae thing, some reggae shit that apparently Issa got kicked out of last time, and it was lit though, so they going back on the car ride there. We got The Dream. It's the song called I Loved Your Girl, because that's what I be called. Hold on, let me just double check. I always call it I Loved Your Girl, but I don't know if that's necessarily the title. So let me. Yes, The Dream. I Love Your Girl. I knew I was right. But they in the car with Cheyenne, you know what I'm saying, jamming to I Love Your Girl. And then Kelly finally breaks down about like her whole situation at school being dead because apparently the band ain't do shit for her, but just remind everybody that she's allergic to kale, which funny. But I felt for Kelly right here in this moment because I know what it's like to be in your feelings but just have friends that are like writing that shit off because they don't want to deal with it. Like, they in a good mood, they trying to turn up or whatever, so they're not even acknowledging that you in a bad space. Just like, man, fuck that, we'll deal with it later, or whatever the case might be. I wasn't getting that from Molly and Issa. Cheyenne was definitely like, bitch, ain't shit changed. Like, we's turning up, fuck all that emotion shit. I want to know what was on Tiffany's mind though, cause she sat there a little tight lipped. Even though we all know Tiffany didn't really like this Cheyenne girl. So I want to hear what Tiffany had to say and what she was wondering in that moment when Kelly was trying to express herself to the group and they kind of pushed it off. But, you know, I guess Tiffany know how to deal with her friend because she definitely just let it be what it was. And towards the another part of the episode, things kind of came around a little bit. But we'll get there. The liquor store robbery scene is what followed. And that shit, it had me for a second now. It did. I thought these niggas was really getting robbed. I'm like, damn, no. But then when Cheyenne and I guess his name was Brian. It had to be fucking Brian. Like, why they gotta put my name? But when these motherfuckers broke character or whatever, I was like, damn, not them robbing fucking Issa and Molly. Like, why the fuck this ratchet ass, thug out ass, ghetto ass bitch gotta do my dogs like that? They not robbing them. But yeah, she robbed them. She told Issa she can keep them shoes. Apparently, she was for real when she said ain't shit changed, bitch. Like, Cheyenne's a wild girl. She's a wild girl. She really be out here. And this is what made Issa remember, like, damn, I do hate that girl. See, like I said earlier, we should have been on Tiffany's side. We should have been on Tiffany's side when she was like, that Cheyenne girl, we wasn't, Then y'all fall out. And like, nah, she went to go dance for Sierra or some shit. She left early. Like, nah. Tiffany had it. She's this girl. Something is wrong. She's a criminal. We get back in the car though after, Cheyenne robbed, Molly for her Cartier watch and the purses and Molly's shoes. Like I said, Issa, you can keep your shoes. You can keep them. Kelly, like, she hunting everybody. She expressed just in that moment a little quick jab, like, you ain't do enough. When I was dealing with what I was dealing with just now, you wasn't doing enough. And to stick up for her, obviously, is what she was getting at. So I was like, all right, we're going to start to see maybe them, I guess get cool or not get cool, but how their relationship, falls apart and repairs itself. We'll see. But I wasn't expecting Issa and Molly to laugh this damn robbery off so damn soon. But they did. They found some funny in it. You know what I'm saying? Kelly had some more joke. Tiffany had some more joke. So it kind of aided in moving along with the whole process of them being robbed and feeling bad about it. They was like, man, fuck that. We can laugh about this shit. It is what it is. She took the girl's shoes and a Cartier watch, nigga. Like, I don't know if I would be laughing. But for them, I guess it makes sense. Like I said, it's a comedy. So we laughing about shit. I did notice though, like the camaraderie there, the laughter they shared kind of helped with, the bond and repairing their friendship and shit. So that was dope. I was fucking with that. We pull up to that diner though, and they did the like breakfast cafe the breakfast cafe visual for Kelly. That was actually, that shit was kind of touching. Hey, a lot. They was going around the table like, yeah, she really was helping me out and keeping me financially stable and shit. Like, it was dope. When Tiffany said that Kelly had got washed away in a flood, I thought this might be serious. Like, she died for real? Like, what was this whole episode? We saw Kelly or whatever. But of course, like I said, it's a comedy. Kelly pop up on the screen. I ain't going nowhere, girl. And I was like, okay. They had me for like 2 seconds. They had me. Apparently, Derek found a tree, which Tiffany revealed quickly. He did not find a tree. She caught him putting their names in just some random tree. But they was letting that shit rock because apparently, Derek had been through a lot lately. And then when she said this though, I'm wondering like, oh, did something new happen within the 2 months that we have been like out of place, or is she just referring to the events of season 4? Because if you remember what happened with season 4, right? Derek and Tiffany, they had just had the baby, but Tiffany was going through, her version of postpartum, and she like ran away, and Derek was like devastated because You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to be a single father, but then it's on top of that, like Tiffany is his life partner. He really loved her, his best friend. Like they love each other like that. Like this my life partner, my best friend, my everything. Like I know I'll be able to raise the baby, but I want my wife with me as well. Like I want this girl. So I don't know if Tiffany was saying Derek had been through a lot. We talking about something new because it's 2 months later around. Remember that, or we're talking about the events of season 4. Either way, this is the first episode. We'll most likely get into some information about that down the line. I just caught it. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was interesting. Old friend walks up. I guess I don't know that brother's name, but shout out to him and Stanford and all this other shit. And told Molly that Omari was looking for her at the party that they didn't make it to because Cheyenne decided she wanted to go Bonnie and Clyde on a bit. Is this something that's gonna happen? Like, is Molly really gonna jump, to Omari and try to do the whole relationship thing? Honestly, I hope not. I really hope she take her time with this if it is something, but this is Molly. So we'll see. Kelly closing out the scene though, asking Derek where the tree was funny as fuck. This fool talking about outside in the dirt. Like, okay, yeah. When they got outside and started, talking again, well, they went their separate ways. Y'all seen that. Molly and Issa decided to walk and talk. And Molly asked Issa about Omari, like how she felt about him and everything. I really like what Issa said to Molly about Omari. Like, you go with the flow. He was never pressed about this kind of shit. Like, stick to being that person and don't let this shit like throw you off your path or whatever. Because if he was on you, so just let it be that. And but Molly said some real shit. Now, she basically was like, I thought I had time, but I don't. Like, things is moving and I kind of need to be moving too. But Issa rebuttal with also some more fire conversation. This probably was the best conversation of the show about her saying, maybe we do have time. As long as we moving forward, then we have all the time we need. Like, she just want to be moving forward. Molly agreed. I took that as them officially reconciling. I'm pretty sure something else will happen in the season to make me be like, okay, yeah, they back good. They back. But that's how I took it. And I also caught like a little foreshadowing there because she brought herself into the situation as well, saying that, in her conversation with Molly about how she just don't want to be stuck thinking about all these things about what could have happened or whatever, just moving forward with life. So probably the best conversation of the episode, if, you're asking me. I really like introspective, like honesty like that, like when shit be real. Like, and you could just have these conversations with people and just be like, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to have everything figured out. As long as we making progress and moving forward, like, I feel like that's all that really matters. That was pretty much the last conversation of the episode though. And well, not last, but y'all know what's finna happen or what happened at the end. We cut to see Kelly recorded her podcast, Prenny's Preguntas, which I really want that to be a real podcast. I tried to look it up. As I'm watching the episode, I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Because this is what happened last season with Looking for LaToya. That was that whole, the show within a show that they was watching the whole season or whatever. And then at the end of season 4, they put out the Looking for LaToya podcast, and they actually made it like a thing. LaToya got found, by the way. I ain't gonna tell. I'm not gonna tell the where she was at or whatever. Just go, wherever you listen to podcasts, look up Looking for LaToya or Google it. Whatever you gotta do to find the podcast and listen to where the fuck LaToya was at this whole time. Everybody was looking for her because it was funny. Obviously, it's Issa Rae. So, but yeah, outside of that, if you know what I'm saying, they're looking to expand the Insecure universe even more, I really think having Pretty's Preguntas podcast, be a real podcast that we can actually listen to and enjoy and have dialogue and stuff. I think that'd be dope because we ending this season with season 5 or whatever, but that'll kind of be a cool way to keep us informed on the characters. You know what I'm saying? Like she could bring, each character on individually for episodes every once in a while, have them talk, and we'll get like little insights about where they are in life and shit. Cause it's a real life, thing that she's doing. Like she asking like dope real life questions or whatever. I don't know. That's just me. That's my idea. But moving past that, Prentice Preguntas is narrating this final scene. You know what I'm saying? We see Issa being picked up from the airport by Lawrence. They share a kiss, so obviously they together in some capacity. Tiff and Derek, they back home with their baby, you know what I'm saying? Just being a happy family. And, we got Molly in the mirror self-reflecting. Like, it's the end of the show, so they doing those quick cut scenes, and we got, Kelly talking to us about it. We finally get to the situation that we all been waiting for. Issa and Lawrence, they still seem a little off in the car ride, right? We get back to Issa's spot, and we finally find out why. Issa tell this man, I've been thinking. Lawrence already knew what time it was. Like, damn, this girl breaking up with me. Like, she don't want to try to see if we can make this shit work. Which, I don't know. I'm honestly, bro, I'm not mad about it, but we'll talk about it in a second. She left him on the curb to go inside the house. And then Fun by, I think this girl's name is Nina, or it's Nina. She has like 3 N's in her, artist name pronunciation or name or whatever. So I'm pronouncing it Nina until somebody tells me otherwise. But the song Fun that closes the episode is dope. By the way, all the music from Insecure, or at least the original songs anyway, or the newer songs, you can find them on Spotify. Well, I think she has a playlist on all of the streaming services, if I'm not mistaken. Insecure playlist. Go check that out wherever you listen to music. But yeah. Anyway, this episode, because that was it. Y'all know what happened. We cut to the credits after that. The episode felt good, man. Felt good to see everybody. I was excited as fuck for this season and just this show to come back in general. So it was dope, like seeing at least the girl group, because we didn't really get to see Lawrence too much in this episode. And, his like circle of friends. Derek is a part of the circle of friends, but him and Tiff are married, so we got to see enough of him. But we didn't really get to see much of the guys. That's cool, because I'm assuming that's what the next episode is gonna like give us, Lawrence and the guy game or whatever. But I love how this trip pretty much back to the origins of their friendship, back where everything started, Stanford, was like very healing for them. They went back to where it all started, and they rekindled the same things that made them friends in the first place. They rekindled all of that, They just lived in a moment of nostalgia for a second that kind of brought them a little closer together as friends. And I really appreciated that. Like everybody, Tiffany, Kelly, Issa, Molly, like they seem tighter than they've ever seemed, if we're being honest about it. Because from season 1, it was always some kind of drama. And especially Kelly, like not on the drama side, but just her having like a breakthrough with her friend group. Because we'll never really know Kelly to be going through nothing. She's always the comedic relief, the one that's having fun, doing, wild shit, but also head on straight, can see through the bullshit. So her breaking down and having this like moment with the group, kind of, I don't know, it was good to see. I was really fucking with it. I'm glad Molly and Issa are back straight. They seem like they're better. Molly seems like she's in a better mental space, given that she just, broke up with the boy, Andrew, and stuff like that. And her Issa was not rocking for all that time. Like, I don't know. Everything seems like it's starting to come to a close just based off of this episode. But we still got more to get into because we got Lawrence. You know what I'm saying? The breakup, like I was saying earlier, I'm not mad at it. I'm not. If it was me, what I'm saying? If I was Issa, I would do the same thing. I'm like, man, I can't deal with you having a baby and a baby mama, like, and you not even with this girl in any capacity. That's what you saying. But y'all ain't necessarily leave off on negative terms either. So there's always room for that kind of shit to happen. Like once the baby get there, because remember, this is 2 months after the events of season 4. So once the baby gets there, Lawrence might completely be like, you know what, I want to work things out with my baby mama and, be there as a family for my kid. So I can completely understand why Issa was like, yeah, we can't do this. And I actually would have made the same decision. If I was Lawrence, I wouldn't even try to press Issa. I wouldn't have tried to chase or try to force anything with her, try to get back with her. I know being back in that very, very beautiful and healthy space that they were in when season 4 was ending, before Condola dropped the bomb. I know that shit felt good or whatever. And I was rooting for them niggas low key a little bit. I kind of want Issa to be with the dude from Houston. I can't think of his name right now, but hold on, let me just Google it. Nathan. His name is Nathan. Yeah. That's who I want Issa to end up with. But I get it. She and Lawrence had got back to a really good place and everything was feeling good. But what I'm saying, if I was Lawrence, I got a new baby on the way. You and Condola didn't necessarily end on bad terms. It was more so y'all was early in this shit, still trying to get to know each other, still trying to find y'all sweet spot, how y'all gel and shit like that. And it wasn't necessarily working out. So y'all was trying to pull back. And when y'all actually decided to pull back and, just let it be something, just leave it where it's at because it wasn't going the way I was looking at it going, she found out she's pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Lawrence could go back to Condola and they could figure this shit out and actually be a good couple together. But I get why he was like, you know what? Everything's familiar with Issa. I never really wanted to leave her in the first place. We just had a big misunderstanding that led us being apart for 3 seasons or 4 seasons prior. But I don't know. If I was Lawrence, I would just, now that Condola's oh, I got a baby on the way and it's yours, I would just be like, you know what? Let's figure out the faults that we had in our relationship, because we didn't end hating each other. We didn't end on bad terms. We just realized we're not in the space to be trying to figure out somebody new right now. So let's figure it out now that we have a new one, a newborn, a new baby on the way that we need to be good parents for. That's what I would have did. But I understand why Issa and Lawrence made the decisions that they made. And I also understand why Issa was like, yeah, we can't. I've been thinking, and we just, yeah. And Lawrence knew. That's a real nigga right there. That was a real honest moment. Sometimes when you're in situations and you're having rough conversations like that, sometimes it don't take people saying word for word, spelling out what's gonna happen. Sometimes it just, you just know. You can pick up on the energy, the vibe, and be completely right about everything that you're assuming, because that's actually what's happening. Issa didn't have to say too much. Lawrence was like, I got you. I'm gonna stand out here on the curb, make sure you get into the house safe, and then I'm gonna ride off, probably never see you again. But who knows, because my predictions for the season, I think Lawrence is gonna try to still chase after Issa. I just do. I feel like somebody is going to convince Lawrence that if he want Issa, that he need to do everything he need to do to try to, because I don't know. But at the same time, that is some cliche shit that I would expect from this kind of show. Maybe the writers will have a different take on it and go another direction with it, or go that direction but have a fresh twist on it or whatever, because that is what, that's bro talk right there. Your dog come to you fucked up behind his lady or whatever, you know the situation or whatever. You're going to tell him, if you really love that girl, go after her. Some of us might be real enough to be we should leave her alone also. But if you're not going to leave her alone and you really want to be with it, go ahead. So I feel like that's what's going to happen. But I could be wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong, because then that would mean I could see something different that I wasn't expecting with the story. And I know it's going to be good, because Insecure is just a fire ass show. But I think the next episode though is gonna be focused on Lawrence and the guy group, so we'll get to see Chad and shit, maybe even Andrew, because he's Lawrence's friend too, and we'll get to like see or have some insight from the guy's perspective of what like took place during that 2 months, how Lawrence processed what's happening with Condola and whatever arrangements they made, how Andrew is feeling about, you know, Molly, if he's still in the show. I'm gonna assume, but it's possible he's not there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think the next episode gonna be focused on the guys, and that's gonna be dope too, because I really, really like the way that this show writes black men and just, you know, POC characters in general. Like, of course, we've seen, you know, the stereotypical like kind of characters, but in a comedic fashion. But like the main characters, Lawrence and Chad, even Andrew, Derek, like, I forget, I feel like it's one more guy part of the group, but it could be just the 4. Either way, I really like how they write those guys. Like, this is really reflective of me and my friends and, you know, like black men that I really know versus the typical stereotypical black men that usually end up in these kind of shows that are killers and drug dealers and all kind of shit that I just simply don't identify with in the same sense that they try to put us in the story. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like how they are writing these guys to be everyday niggas that everybody know, because we're not monolithic as black men, but at the same time, like, we're so multidimensional. If people just take a step back and decide to explore that, it's like how Insecure is doing, then you'll see like we bring a lot more to the table as far as just human beings. But Insecure seems to get it. They writing these characters really well. I'm really, as much as I fuck with all the girls, whatever, I really like the guys as well. Like Lawrence, I'm rooting for this nigga no matter what happened with his life. Chad, Playboy, whatever, I see it. Like, that's my dog. Like, I'm fucking with him. You know, everybody. But I really appreciate these black men and these black women and the cast and crew and everybody that's writing these amazing black stories, because that shit a breath of fresh air. Like, seeing how Insecure is and how it's playing out versus some of the other stuff that dominates TV and, you know, stuff like that, dealing with black people. Like, I really fuck with this show. So I'm gonna be sad when this shit wrap finally, you know, when the series finale drop or whatever. But until then, I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. You know what I'm saying? Episode 2. I'm gonna do my best to stick to, like I said, a review for every episode. In the unlikely event that I do not decide to keep reviewing every episode, definitely gonna do a season review. But I'm probably gonna just do every episode because I really fuck with this show and I want to, especially because it's the last season. This episode 1, entitled, like I said, Reunited. Okay. Fire. I fuck with it. It's a perfect way to open up the season. The bombshell at the end left us with enough to like really want to come back. Like, I was like, damn, why she couldn't put out episode 1 and 2 on the same day? Because she knew this bombshell was gonna fuck us up. Like, she literally left my dog at the curb like, no, you're not coming inside. And I've been thinking like we shouldn't. But we'll see what happens next, episode 2. So I'm gonna catch y'all with that next week. Probably drop another Talking Play Blurcast some other time throughout the week. Who knows? But definitely coming back. Insecure season 5, episode 2. I'll catch y'all on the next one.